Okay, so a couple days ago, we just got this post right here on X, directly from Nintendo, by the way, that shared off a lot of things on the 34th anniversary. Now, this might not mean anything to you, but being the hypo-theorist person I am, I have definitely a lot of things to say about this image right here. Now, usually with Hall Labs and Nintendo, they like to put like the next game or something that's coming in some posts, like images here, arts, and a whole bunch of things. If we were looking directly at this, you might say, hey, this is for Kirby Air Riders. You have the Air Ride cookies in the middle. You have most of the characters from Air Ride, so it's definitely Kirby Air Ride. But now if you look at it, Eflin is not in Kirby Air Riders, so does this mean that we are going to be getting something else? Very, very possible, because if you look at Kirby in the Forgotten Land, that game sold really, really well, and it could lead into a sequel for Forgotten Land. So, let's get straight into it. Now, honestly, I think a sequel for Forgotten Land would be really awesome. They pretty much already tested the waters with essentially the DLC for Forgotten Land with the Star-Crossed Worlds. And honestly, that was a really fun DLC. It added a lot to the story that you really didn't necessarily need, and honestly, that's pretty cool. For the 34th anniversary, we probably know by the 35th anniversary we are going to be getting something brand new. And if you look directly in the back of this picture, you can see Susie. Now, Susie is inside of Kirby Air Riders, but there's also been a leak for the longest time now that Kirby Planet Robobot and Triple Deluxe is going to be coming. Because honestly, these two games make a lot of sense to be returning. In my opinion, these are like the best Kirby games that we've ever seen. I know I might be getting hot water here by saying this, but I really did enjoy Kirby Triple Deluxe. I honestly think that this is my favorite game, maybe because this is my first Kirby game. But besides that, I honestly really enjoy these games. Now, if we were going back to the fact that these two games or these pictures might be involved with the games, what could this mean? Well, first off, we know that Hall Laboratory likes to remaster Kirby games. It's just a thing that they do every so often. We get either a remastered Kirby game or a brand new Kirby game, and then we can get the next mainline Kirby game. It's not necessarily going to be like a one or the other type situation, because if you looked at all the Kirby games that we've gotten in the past, you can see that one year we might have got a remaster or a remake. The other year we got like another game and also a spin-off. So overall, it's definitely really interesting. Now, I honestly think that Forgotten Land 2 does make a lot of sense, because Kirby in the Forgotten Land sold so well. Like, for a Kirby game, 6 million copies or something, it's honestly pretty crazy. So that definitely would make sense. But what about the leak / rumor about this being an open world? Now, if Kirby is going to go open world, which I honestly think that it definitely could be, it's probably going to be like a split reality mixed sort of game. So what essentially you're going to be doing is going back to old Easter eggs that you've seen in older Kirby games. So this game is going to be flooded full of Easter eggs and everything associated to that. So essentially, let's just say that you start off in Dream World, or you start off in somewhere, and then all of a sudden you go up to try to save Susie, because that could be your main objective. You pretty much have to go and save Kirby's friends, but when you do, it's going to turn the levels or the planet into sort of the level for them specifically. So for example, Susie. What you would see for saving Susie would be like a Planet Robobot type of planet. That definitely would be really cool, because then it opens up the era of those games. Then you could potentially go and save Waddle Dee, for example, because Waddle Dee was taken captive and your goal is to go and save him. So what do? You go and save Waddle Dee, you make your way over, and the island is going to be completely different from maybe like Star Allies or something like that. Overall, the point being said, the point being clear, all of these levels would be completely different if that's the case. Maybe Nintendo isn't showing necessarily the next game, but instead just the fine prints and the fine details of the games. Because if we look directly in the middle, you can see clearly there's an Air Ride cookie. But what if this meant into the next sort of spin-offs game? Because we already got Kirby Dream Buffet, so what does this mean for maybe like a Kirby Dream Island where you're like running a restaurant as Kirby? This could be like a free game, a free mobile game or something, but you're running a restaurant, and you know the game that you pretty much have to give them their food on time instead of the timer depleting. Maybe it's going to be something very similar to that. But overall, I definitely find this to be really interesting because hey, this is a very cool artwork, and I honestly think that they did a really great job. So really what I think about this artwork, they could easily be saying, hey, Kirby Planet Robobot is actually going to be coming back, and this is fantastic. And then they're looking at Eflin here, hey, this is going to be the next main protagonist along with Kirby for the next game because you all liked Eflin so much. It really made playing the game really fun because he would just fly around and fly around you, and that would be pretty much it. But overall, still very cute. But overall, it's definitely really interesting. And then, of course, with all of these Kirby games, with all of these different games, theories, and everything, you just have to look at it at face value sometimes. You look at it of just being nothing more than just an image. Now, just an image indeed, because there's definitely something here. It's kind of like glowing in some ways. But overall, I'm just looking at this because I'm like a Nintendo enthusiast that really likes theories, leaks, rumors, and everything about Nintendo, saying the hypothesis about the future. And speaking on future, since Nintendo is doing like a movie and stuff for every single sort of video game, because right now, yesterday we got an announcement for potentially a Metroid movie. It also seems like we're getting a Legend of Zelda movie. We're going to be getting some sort of Star Fox movie and also a Luigi's Mansion movie. Could this mean the return of something for Kirby? I definitely think it would. I honestly feel like if they're doing a movie for Kirby, this could potentially be what it is, because you can see the Waddle Dee holding a microphone, so potentially that's what's going to be. And Susie's over here playing some music, and then we got Kirby and Eflin. So if they're going to make a movie for Kirby, that could very well be it. They're probably going to have to keep Kirby quiet, because I don't want to see Kirby talking. Kirby talking would be weird. We gotta keep it calm, keep it like quiet. Kirby has to stay quiet forever because he's like the pink puffball that everyone likes to stay quiet. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this artwork means nothing at all? Do you think it means the return of Kirby Planet Robobot? Do you think it means the Kirby in the Forgotten Land 2.0 or number 2, or something completely different? An open world Kirby game? Or is this a movie? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider hit the like button, maybe the subscribe button. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Kirby, pretty much everything. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.